What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? My name is George Chuck Patterson, and I am here. We are here with Black with No Chaser Live, and we've got an awesome conversation lined up for you today. As you can see, we are talking with the man that has been moving stuff around in Jackson. I'm talking about making stuff move. We got furniture moving in Jackson. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna be talking about restoring voices with Richard Bradley. It's a dialogue on rights and redemption, but we'll be joined by some other people that are helping Richard really move stuff around in the city of Jackson and surrounding areas. So I'm gonna get everybody in the studio, and we got some major things to discuss. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome Isaiah and Richard to the show. Black with No Chaser Live. What's up?
Hey, Phil. Hey, man. How you doing? What's going on?
Man, everything's great. Y'all looking well. Shoot, Isaiah, let's start off with you. You're here representing One Voice, and you're a community organizer with One Voice. Why don't you tell the folks exactly who you are, where you come from, and what you do with One Voice?
Yes, sir. So I'm Isaiah McCoy. He introduced me. I'm a community organizer here at One Voice, where we do a lot of things focused around voting rights, so rights restoration, education rights, anything dealing with community, anything building up community. That's what we focus on here at One Voice. We're a nonpartisan organization that was founded in 2005. Been building ever since. Been doing rights restoration about 10 years, and that's my primary focus. I do community organizing events, so we do know your rights trainings, we do expungement clinics, we do anything and everything that's around rights restoration and getting people their right to vote back and getting people their right to live back. So that's the basis up.
I love that. So, Richard, I know a lot of people that's tuning in. They know you, but I don't think a lot of people know that you're involved in this type of work, in this type of organizing. They usually used to seeing you from the business side and also represent Jackson State University. So, Richard, tell us, of course, give the intro of who you are, all of the businesses that you're involved in, and then how you arrive at this partnership.
Well, I'm Richard Bradley, man. I'm from the city of Jackson, born and raised here. Been here for 45 years, man. I went to Murrah High School, attended the best college in the world, the Jackson State University, where I received my undergrad in business administration, and I received my master's degree in physical education, and that's a long story behind that. At an early age, I kind of saw what my vision was and what I wanted to accomplish out of life. One, I knew I wanted to be a serial entrepreneur. The second thing is one of my dreams was I always wanted to be a college basketball coach. And that kind of plays, if you know me, you know that I played sports. I was a Danny Dozen basketball player in 1997, coming out of Murrah High School. And just, man, I'm associated with a lot of businesses here. One that's mostly probably known to everybody, which is the M-Bar right here in the County Line corridor. But also, too, I ventured into some other businesses as well when it comes to construction, a vocational school, which is Metro Booming Training Academy, which you've probably been seeing a lot the last couple of months or so. We also have a logistics company where we do a lot of different things when it comes to Lowe's, moving products and materials for Lowe's and Home Depot and things like that. And also, man, I have a real estate company, man. That was one of my first endeavors when it came to the business side of it. So, we just have a whole enterprise going on, man. I have three lovely kids, man, a wife. Been married for 20 plus years, man. So I'm vested here in Jackson, and I'm here, man, just to give you a little short synopsis about who I am and what we're trying to accomplish in Jackson.
So look, that's a great segue, and it shows, why you're so committed to the success of Jackson. So how does Richard and One Voice come together to have this conversation around restoring rights and restoring voices and changing people's lives after they come back home?
It starts with. I always say it starts with the portrayal of Jackson, Mississippi, in the media. A lot of times you see that we talk about a lot of bad things that are going on in Jackson, whether it's water situation, whether it's crime, whether it's garbage, whatever things that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. But like I say, I'm from Jackson, so with me being from here, I know a lot of people in the community. I grew up on all sides of town when it comes to
Yeah.
West Jackson, North Jackson, or downtown, wherever the case it may be. So I know a lot of people, and sometimes people take different paths in their lives. And that's just things happen. I always say that I believe in second chances and things like that. But one of the things keyed around our vocational school is we have an initiative when it comes to reentry programs for guys to just understand and know what the pathways for career opportunities are, what support services are out there, and just knowing where you stand and meeting people where they are, basically.
Okay. Okay.
And they got,
Isaiah, I want you to add something to that, man. Give us some more context.
yeah, and he basically hit the nail on the head with that last part. Meeting the people where they are, or where they at. We want this rights restoration campaign to actually change people's lives, to get to the everyman, to the people that are afraid to go through other avenues or feel like they don't have a chance or a choice to go through these other avenues. And what better way to do that than to meet people where they have fun, where they have a great time, where they come to relax and try to fix some of their problems by letting the load off. You know what I'm saying? Organizing with these different communities, like Mr. Bradley said, he has a lot of context throughout the whole city because he's from here as well as I am. So he know we have an understanding of community, of what community needs, what community wants, and so why not do that in an environment the community is comfortable in as well? I think that's the whole idea behind the campaign.
Look, I like that. When I was a young whippersnapper, and Isaiah, I don't know if you know this place, but I'm pretty sure Richard knows the name of this place, and I mentioned it last night on Nightcap Knowledge. We used to go and post up outside in front of the upper
Come on,
level.
man. Come on, man. If you're from the Jack, you know that, man.
I heard upper level. I ain't never get a chance to go in there.
All right. So now,
And Chuck, stop acting like you all old, man. You ain't old, man. Stop acting like that, man.
well, look, man. We used to go outside of the up, and we would sit out there, me, Mac, one of our other partners, man, and a couple more folks, and we would do voter registration outside the upper level. Man, we posted the free line. We say, look, hey, man, you register to vote. We'll pay your way to get in. We'll buy your first drink. Just go holler at my boy. He already at the bar. And we had this system worked out where we were meeting people, as y'all have described, meeting people where they are. And a lot of people come through MBAR these days. So talk to us about some of the activities, because I know y'all have an event plan where you're going to be doing some talks and conversations around, restorative justice and restoring your rights. What is that going to look like? Is that going to take place at MBAR too?
So right now we have that going on. The main thing is the Advocacy Day that's going to be on March 14th. That's going to be at the Capitol. So basically, we're partnering with Mr. Bradley, the Reentry Coalition, and a couple other folks. Where basically it'll be a day at the Capitol from 1:30 to 2 p.m. where we'll be talking about rights restoration, housing, employment, different things that formerly incarcerated people and just people in Jackson are struggling with that need advocacy for. So that'll be the biggest thing. But we also do plan on having tours all around the city, like listening tours, where we'll be able to listen into community and have those conversations. We haven't locked in the date for MBAR, but that is definitely going to be on there as far as listening tours there, in a couple more spots. So that'll be the biggest thing as far as listening tours and things like that.
Now, you said, I know you said 1 to 3, but is the date, is that the 14th of March?
Yeah, March 14th. March 14th. Right. Yes, my bad. March 14th.
March 14th. That's a Thursday. We're talking 1 to 3 p.m. How do people need to sign up, or that they show up, or how do you want people to get in contact with you?
So we have the One Voice page, where we have social media pages. I can get that email for you. Let me find. I gotta find that. I ain't have it on deck. That's my bad. But reach out through social media and really just show up. We're gonna have. This is not gonna be the only time we talk about it. We're gonna be pushing it. We
Yeah.
also have a stakeholders meeting that we're trying to have sometime within next week. It's probably going to be on next Monday, but we have to lock in this date that we'll be talking with stakeholders like Mr. Bradley and a couple more people that are just community leaders and people that are advocating for community.
Yeah.
And they'll be spreading it out through their networks, and we'll have a bunch of different ways. So once I get this social media, I'm gonna get it for you.
Yeah, and Chuck, I want to and I want to add to what Isaiah said as well. He mentioned something that's very key. Their focus, One Voice, is definitely focused on community, man. And if you notice something about the MBAR project, the first thing that we actually went after was the beautification of the area. When it
I
comes
noticed.
to when it comes to beautification, man, development, economic development here in the city of Jackson, I always say, man, people tend to act like the things that they're surrounded by. So changing the culture,
Mm,
changing, actually identifying in the community the things that need to change. When people come out of when they're incarcerated and they come back into the society, you don't want to put people back into situations that may give them the opportunity or give them choices that they don't want to make. So that's one of the things that we're focusing on as well when it comes to that partnership with One Voice and MBAR, the beautification piece of what we did at MBAR and also what we did at Metro Booming Training Academy right off Capitol Street in West Jackson. That's
right.
one of the key things. In One Voice, I know they're committed to things like that, and I think that's what's going to make this partnership be able to grow and make it more viable for people in the community as well when it comes to a better quality of life.
Look, you're articulating what seems to be like a vision for
That's
not
right.
only the businesses that you have your hands on, but also for the city. So
That's right.
what does it look like when we get our patrons, the people that come and patronize our business, the folks that show up for happy hour, folks that show up for
That's,
brunch?
uh-huh.
What does it look like when you activate those folks and they had a great time? Then they go back home and they say, "Well, look, I'm gonna make my yard look like the Embark." What does that
Mhm.
Jackson look like?
Well, that Jackson looks like, man, I'll be honest with you. Um, that's the day that once people realize, and one thing I do believe, you have to show people and not just talk.
Hmm.
So once we focus on as a community, whether black, white, Hispanic, whatever the case may be, once we focus on as a community the things that make us feel comfortable and give us peace. So I always use this example. When you go on vacation, people like to go to places that are very, very beautiful. They like to go to the beach. They like to
Right,
go to places where there's palm trees. They like to go to places where there's the ocean and things like that. You want to make your surrounding areas in your city look exactly like a resort. I always tell people, when you go to your house, you want your house to feel like a resort, man. That's one of the key things that you should be focused on a day-to-day basis. So
right,
stop. I always tell people, I tell the young kids that come to the school and sign up for the school. I have over 100 kids in my AAU program. And I tell them, we get out and pick up paper, we do things, and we cut grass, we do different things because that's what makes you feel at peace, and that's what gives you that harmony to know that I'm living in a community that's safe and
yeah,
sound. One of the things that I've talked about with the city, I've talked to Mr. Keaton and the mayor and many different people about lighting throughout the city, just vegetation and beautification. Those are the things that make people want to invest back into your city when it comes from the small business standpoint and when
right.
it comes to corporate America as well. So those are the things that we have to focus on. People cleaning up their property, people cutting their grass and not dumping, doing illegal dumping and things like that. When it comes to MBAR, you've seen we've been a part of a lot of illegal dumping initiatives, working with solid waste and public works department. So those are the things that we focus on and we volunteer our time with to make sure we're not only just talking, but we're out there showing and doing the work as well.
Look, I like what you're describing, and Isaiah, I want to get you to jump in on this.
Yes, sir.
We're looking at the initiatives that Richard and his cohorts have been involved in. What does it look like when the M bar, One Voice, and some of the folks that are doing like the activities around returning citizens?
Mhm.
What does it look like, that wraparound approach, when we say, all right, well, you out now, let's get you involved in some of the activities that we're already involved, and get you some sort of employment that keeps you in this type of environment that says not you won't be a part of the things that tear Jackson down. You're going to be a part of the things that make Jackson beautiful. What, Isaiah, talk to us about that.
Yes, sir. So so that's part of the Reentry Coalition's job as well. Just to speak back to that point with the advocacy day, they do that all the time, just getting people readjusted back into society. We have formerly incarcerated folks that help us through One Voice specifically, but also we do community, like when we do the community meetings, we'll have people that are contacts in like DeSoto County or Holmes County and different places that get us tapped in with community there. That shows us the ropes around community. And basically, like with the formerly reincarcerated, we try our best to get in contact with organizations because we handle the restorative rights, but we also have organizations like Strong Arms of Jackson and different things like that that actually go hands-on and get people invested and give people time or get people readjusted back into society with jobs and with different supplies. That's what the Reentry Coalition is all about. And that's part of the thing on Advocacy Day. That's the whole. And I wanted to actually, before I get to that, wanted to piggyback on Mr. Bradley with the beautification. I also believe that with the beautification effort, it not only makes a physical difference, but it makes a spiritual or like a internal difference as well. Seeing that your community is looking upkept and beautiful, and it also goes hand in hand with the restorative actions of dealing with people in community and restoring not only the physical but the mental and the spiritual. So I think that's a great idea. But yeah, just trying to get people in tune with the rights restoration is big as what we're doing and getting people wrapped around, trying to get more programs involved. Like I know we got people like the Bean Path that help people get that are underage, so like 18 and under, maybe like 16, 18 up to like 24, get into the workforce. That some that are at risk, some that are just having trouble. So it's a bunch of different organizations around the city that's dedicated to it, like One Voice as well.
Look, I like it. I like it. So just to make sure that we got all this information right, I'm gonna throw this up on the screen. We're talking Advocacy Day at the Capitol, March 14th, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. And then if you need some information, you can go to onevoicems.org, and then we'll get an email too. What's that email?
Actually, I got a phone number for you too. I got the Twitter, Facebook, and the phone number. So the Twitter and Facebook is One Voice MS. So it's One Voice and then MS. Mississippi.
Gotcha.
And then the phone number is going to be 1-888-601-VOTE, which is 8683. So it's 888-601-VOTE, which is 8683. So reach out. Yes, sir. So reach out to any of those, and we'll be more than happy to get with you, help. And if you want to volunteer for some work, we always need volunteers for voting time, man.
That's right.
Now, look, that's something important that we do need to discuss, and I definitely want to get some. Election day is coming, right? And with what the work that we do at Mississippi Move, we offer rides to the polls, and I know the election protection hotline is something that people can call into to make sure that they have their ability to vote. But what do you all feel around the importance of voting, and then why it's so important for people to have their right to vote restored?
Mr. Bradley, you go first.
Well, I just always think, they always, voting lets you decide how your community lets you decide the leadership in your community. And I think that's just, it's always a good thing to vote. And, just letting people know that, if you have the right to vote, and if you've been incarcerated and you really don't understand where your situation lies, just being informed and knowing that you can, I know some situations you may not be able to vote, but some you may be able to, but just knowing where you are and knowing where you stand. And also, those are the people that's the leadership of your community. And you want to make sure you have a voice in that as well.
Exactly. And I can agree wholeheartedly with that. This is exactly how I feel. It's important to have a sense of community. And if you have no say in your community or no voice, then how can you expect somebody to care about community? How can you expect somebody to want to do better for their community? So, and just as a citizen, as a human being, as a person that has to pay things and live in this society, you should have the ability to vote on what you feel like is pertinent to your community. So if you take the right away to vote for somebody because of a mistake they made a whole lifetime ago for some folks, then you're taking away the essence of what it means to be a citizen, what it means to be a human being, specifically in this country of America, where we should have the right to vote and be democratic and use what use our God-given ability as far as our intelligence and our things, and not be excluded from our community. Nobody wants to be isolated. Nobody wants to feel alone. So we have to
Yeah.
also be there for people that might have been alone at a certain point and might have made mistakes. Just being there for them and letting them be free, basically.
Yeah, yeah. I like where you're going there. It makes me think about, of course, it's a participatory thing. So
Mhm.
when we get together at MBAR and we smiling and we're having conversations, it's a lot like being in line when you're waiting to go cast your vote. Like you checking in with people that you see every time
Right.
that you go vote. So
Definitely.
for some people, they've never had that experience. They don't know what it's like to do their check-in because they're not really living or voting in the place in which they live. And that's one of the things we try to encourage at Mississippi Move is wherever you're living at, make sure that you're also voting in that precinct. Um,
Definitely.
wherever you're living at, make sure you do business with those people. Like if you got a grocery store near you, go and shop at that grocery store. If the gas station is right there with you and they got good gas and they ain't got no water in that gas, you should buy your gas from there. Um,
Definitely.
so yeah, y'all know what I'm saying when I'm saying like we need to
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
business in our community. We need to support the businesses in our community.
Yeah,
That's right.
because
That's right.
economic stability in a community is one of the most important things. Without a healthy economic situation in the community, then you're bound to have a whole bunch of problems. If you don't have any funds to fix anything and people worry about surviving instead of living, then of course you have problems like drug problems or crime problems. It's a formula to it. You know what I'm saying? So we have to have economic stability in our community as well. That's very important. Economic stability, and that comes from being able to put people who you feel like are fit into power, and it goes all the way back to the right of voting. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
seeing whoever you see fit, being able to put them in a position by your right to vote and by your voice and by your choices. That's what's most important in our community.
I
That's right.
like that. I like that. Richard, I got a question for you, man, and I'm gonna use this as a free consultation because I got you here.
All
Uh,
right.
what advice would you give to anyone? And it could be a formerly incarcerated person that's coming home, and they're interested in starting a business, or trying. It could be an entrepreneur that's out there and they're seeing the success that you've had. What would be some of the advice that you would offer to them in terms of trying to build up their business?
Well, the first thing I would say is, man, operating your passion and don't operate for money, man. A lot of times we get so caught up in trying to make money. As my son would always say, Daddy, you trying to get that money on. No, yeah, I want to make the money on, but I want to also make sure I'm operating, I'm enjoying, and I'm happy, and I'm being able to affect other people's lives around me. So a lot of time as business owners or serial entrepreneurs, we get I call it self-centered sometimes. There's nothing wrong with focusing on what you want out of life and what you want to do and how you want
Yeah,
to build your business. But I also, I always say that you should focus on things that make you happy. And when you get up for work every day, shouldn't feel like you're going to work. And that's one of the things that I try to do. Chuck, man, I've been in this entertainment business for over 20 some years here in Jackson, man.
that's right.
Um, and I went through different changes and different transitions when it comes to the type of environments that I operated in.
Yeah,
But now the new environment has really made me be able to grow and elevate what I've always seen and what I've always wanted to be. And that's basically from traveling all across the world, seeing other cultures, seeing other environments, and bringing that back to the city of Jackson. And I'll tell any entrepreneur, be willing to work. So a lot of times if you go to work and you work a job for someone, you're going to probably go work about 40 hours a week. I tell
mhm,
everybody as an entrepreneur, you make double that in a week's time, a week's worth of time. So a lot of nights I haven't slept, man. It's a lot of nights that I've been up thinking, trying to make the right decision. And that's what it comes. Don't be afraid to make decisions, right or wrong, when you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to build your business. Because guess what? You're not going to make the right decisions all the time. Sometimes you're going to make the wrong decisions, but don't let that hold you back. Don't let that give you negative thoughts about what you're trying to accomplish overall. The biggest thing to succeed when you're trying to do a business is, and when you're trying to grow a business is, being able to fail, being able to make the adjustments, pivot, and continue to grow in a different way that you thought was the right way at one time, and you realize this was the wrong way. So
Yeah.
continue to learn your business, continue to learn your target market, continue to learn what it takes to be successful. And I always say, don't hold your hand too tight. Don't try to keep everything. Don't try to keep all the money. You got to open your hand up and let some of that money go, because you got to be able to change other people's lives. Because
Yeah.
guess what? You can't do it by yourself.
You can't do it by
Yeah.
yourself.
Do it by yourself, man.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Yeah.
I appreciate, and that's one of the things that I have been blessed with, is the people around me, man. You'll see on my social media outlets, I always talk about my team and I give praise to my team. My team is my family. My team is the people that have been with me for years. My
Yeah.
team is the people that are no longer with me, that have moved on and elevated to better situations. I tell my people all the time that work for me, I don't expect you to work for me all of your life. I
Right.
expect you at some point to elevate and be able to have your own, if that's what you want to do. If I can create a better opportunity for you to be able to move on, and say you may work at an M bar as a start as a bartender, but you can go manage. I've got one person that worked at the M bar as a manager, started as a bartender, moved to a manager position with me. Now they're managing about 5 wing stops in another state. So but them being able to put me on their resume as a reference, and
Right.
Wingstop reaching out to me, and I can give that reference and give that great referral about this person, and now this person is making over 6 figures a year. That's what makes me happy. That's what let me know I'm operating in my purpose, man. So
Yeah.
I always tell business people, it's not about you, it's the people around you and the people lives that you can affect and give a better quality of life.
That's right, man. Look, I'm gonna make this pitch right here. I'm gonna make this one right here. Uh, I need some more of that. I would love for you to talk to some of the business owners that we have assembled with Mississippi Black Pages, and we
Okay.
do this thing called network your net worth. So
Oh,
sometimes you might not be in the right room. You might not like you have that good circle of folk around you
mhm.
that are pouring into you and helping you build up the thing that you're trying to do. So what
That's
we're
right.
attempting to do with Mississippi Black Pages is really curate spaces and times for business owners to get some of those questions answered. And we typically do it on a Thursday. So we're gonna reach
Okay.
out to you and see if we can get you plugged
Sure.
in.
Y'all make sure you do, man. And I'll be honest, and I'll give a little sneak in about what I've been working on. So
Oh,
I'm actually gonna have a entrepreneurs class that'll be coming out soon, man. And it's gonna be I've got some people coming in that are gonna speak, that are serial entrepreneurs that are very successful at what they've been doing. But I just feel like I've got to share this knowledge and share my life experiences of what it takes to become a successful entrepreneur. So y'all be on the lookout for that, man. And you'll see that soon. There's going to be some classes I'm going to be offering. And yes, I'm going to be teaching them myself. I'm not going to hire nobody to do them.
hey, look, you know that's gonna be the question. They'll be like,
That's
all right, now, uh,
right.
like
Yeah,
we want, and that's the thing that I'm most passionate about
that's right.
is I've been able to be a DJ in Mississippi, and for
Mhm.
the last 6 years now, might be a little bit longer than that.
Listen, I remember when you started. Let me just go there. Let me say that out there. I remember when you started.
Yeah, but and starting, I was still working at Tougaloo. So really,
That's right.
kind of following this
That's
type
right.
of same path that you have, like having that university imprint. But now I've been full time in entrepreneurship, and I want to lay a blueprint for folks to show them, man, you really can live a successful life, live a
That's,
purposeful life,
that's
and
right.
do it in Mississippi. But to grow it, we got to get more collaboration and less competition.
That's right.
Definitely.
Create those pathways. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
look,
That's right.
Isaiah, close us out. Give us that information one more time about the Advocacy Day, and make sure that folks know who you are, what you're doing, and everything that you got going on. Because Richard already told us we got an entrepreneurs class to sign up for. So
Oh yeah, I sure meant to say that was a good free consultation. I wrote a little notes. I got them wrote down, man. But
That's
yeah,
right.
so Advocacy Day, March 14th, 1:30 to 2, which really be we're gonna say 3, but it's really gonna be 2:30. We're gonna be discussing rights restoration, housing, employment, and then we'll also be talking about SB 2780, which is actually a bill by Rod Hickman. It's basically a suffrage right bill. So trying to ease the process of getting people their rights back. Because they try everything in their power not to. So we try our hardest to go push that through. And then that'll be, like I said, March 14th. And then you can reach out to us on One Voice Mississippi, which is One Voice MS. That's on Twitter or Facebook and Instagram. Then you can reach out at 1-888-601-8683. If you have any questions about Advocacy Day, excuse me, have any questions about that, or if you want to get your rights restored, call is always open. And if you don't get a ring, then we're gonna reach right back out to you, because we got somebody every day making calls, myself included.
man, look, we appreciate you, brothers, for turning in your time. Like, you gave us 30 minutes of your day, and it is most valued, and from us over here at Black with No Chaser and Mississippi Black Pages. We thank y'all, man. We appreciate the work that you're doing, and we look forward to having another conversation with you soon.
Most definitely.
No doubt. Thank you for having us, brother. All right.
All right, we'll see you soon. Ladies
All
and
right,
gentlemen,
take care,
boys
man.
and girls, that is Black with No Chaser Live for today. Make sure you tell somebody to tell somebody about this, and make sure you share this with somebody that needs to hear this message. We will see y'all next time for the next conversation, where we're going to be bringing dope people doing dope stuff, and they making a difference in their community. We'll see you out. Peace.